Good morning, children. Welcome back to the social session. Children, for the past few days we have been learning about pen goal. Today let us finish up this pen goal. Yesterday we tried to understand what do they eat and how do they live. So under that we learned that one of the most important food source is bamboo, isn't it? Had we learnt yesterday about the bamboo? They cut the bamboo shoots from the bamboo bushes and they cook it, they boil it and they eat. So bamboo is a good source of food for them. This bamboo is available abundantly in the forest, as you all know that. And it is apart from a good source of food, with bamboo they construct the houses, they make the fences for their houses, and even bamboo is a rich raw material for the making of paper. The paper industry requires bamboo as a raw material in order to make the paper. So with the bamboo they make the winnows, or they make the baskets, they make the chicken coops. You know what are the winnows? Shut up. Winnow. So which we use in our houses. Winnows are made with these bamboos, and they sell them in the Santa and they make little money. Paper mills also have the right to cut the bamboo from the forest, which is a raw material required for them, and there are agents who employ these village people to cut the bamboo, and they are paid even. This provides some earning opportunities also for them, and nearly during the after harvest period, in the post harvest period, they go for this employment. They are paid 150 rupees per day per person. So over the past few years, initially it was very less amount was paid, but now they have increased the payment made to these employees, especially to the tribal people who live in these villages. They go for cutting the bamboo and they earn 150 rupees per day. And if you look at the houses and habitations present here in the Penugolu, as we have seen, the houses in Penugolu are mostly built with mud and bamboo, which is naturally available in the forest. With those two things they make the houses. And the thatchet. What is this thatchet? Okay, there is a picture given here. See, these are the thatchets. It's a hut made of bamboo and thatchet. This is a thatchet. Okay, so they make houses with them, and they have a separate space for the cultivation of vegetables in the back garden. They also have separate space for the animals they rear. That is a kitchen garden around their house, and there are fences around the house to protect from animals, the crops and the others. Each house has a little distance from the other, so they are not compact like we live in the cities and in the colonies. Okay, after our boundary wall, immediately another house follows here. But whereas in the Penugolu, there is a large distance in between, so there is a back garden, there is also a separate space for the animals, and their houses are also fenced with the bamboo. These all looks like they are living a very spacious life. Houses in Penugolu are at the top of the hill. There were 32 families are there. How many families are there in Penugolu? 32 families are there. 32 families, and all put together there are 124. The total population of Penugolu is 124 persons. All put together, men, women, children, all put together, 124 people are there in Penugolu. And these settlements are not permanent, children. In case if any epidemic breaks out, epidemic means what? What is epidemic? A disease which spreads very fastly. The same like the present we are in the period of corona. It's like an epidemic which spreads very fastly. So during the period of these epidemics, corona is also a kind of epidemic now which has surrounded the entire world. So during such period, they can leave this settlement and they can go for a new place. They can migrate to another place where they can build houses again. So this settlement can be quickly evacuated, and If you look at the customs they follow, the kind of traditions and customs they follow, the tribal people in Penugolu, they worship gods of nature. They even imagine forest is also a kind of god. And the festivals follow the changes in the season, and even they worship stone idol. That means statue idols they worship. They also worship burra, a round shaped dried bottle god is called as a burra. This is a round shaped bottle god. So this round shaped, which is a dry one. Okay, once the bottle god gets dried, they even pray. They worship even burra. And Thadu also, under which tamarind tree. Under a tamarind tree, they also pray Thadu. They call it Muthyalamma. This is one of the famous goddess among the tribal people, that is Muthyalamma. And even they conduct jataras also, Muthyalamma jatara also they conduct. And they celebrate Yellannam Padam, which is called as a Bhumi Puja, or Kodtala Panduga, which we call it as a Peddala Panduga, or giving rice to the people who got died in their name. Donating rice to the Brahmins is called as Peddala Panduga. And Bhimini Panduga, festival of Vipappu. Vipappu is a kind of flower which are available in the forest, which will be very tasty, but it's like a drug, alcoholic. They prepare sara, a kind of drink, Vipappu sara. So it's a kind of alcohol. They celebrate Kodtala Panduga in September, in which they offer vegetables to their deity and then eat them also. They offer the vegetables to the god, and those vegetables they cut and they eat again. All major activities like sowing, threshing, harvesting, collection of fruits from the forest, etc. begin after these festivals only. That means agricultural seasons and their festivals, they both coincide. Most of the Hindu festivals also celebrated depending upon the agricultural season. As Sankranti is celebrated at the time of harvest. Even Dashara is also celebrated during that same period. During the rainy season harvest, Dashara is celebrated. During the winter season harvest, they celebrate the Sankrant. So most of the Hindu festivals and even the tribal festivals coincide with the agricultural seasons. During these festivals, all the members of the family of the tribe gather together. Even if they are living in separate settlement, they come together and they celebrate these festivals. These Lambadis celebrate. Lambadis are also a tribal. In the Plateau region, we find these kind of settlements called as Lambadis. This community, they celebrate a festival called as Tees. Recently, they celebrated even Tees. So every community, every tribal community has their own kind of festivals. The kind of festivals what we have discussed here are of Koyas, the people who are living in Penugolu, Muthyalamma Jatara, Kodtala Panduga, Bhumi Puja. These all are the festivals which are being celebrated by the Koya. Koyas are the communities who are living in the Penugolu village, and we are discussing about them. If you look at the future of the Koyas children, even though the hill tribes are very few in number, but they have been following a pattern of life from ancient times. So how many people are there? The entire population is 124. The hill tribe people are very few in number, but still they follow many kinds of customs and traditions of ancient period. And they have a right to live the way of their life, because Constitution has granted right to life as a fundamental right to everybody. They have the right to live the way they like, and they do not disturb the environment, even though they live in the forest, but they do not disturb the forest. You may argue, sir, with the cutting of forest they cultivate and they do podu. But I told you children, they cultivate only for 3 to 4 years and they leave it again to grow, and they go to a new piece of land. And while picking up that piece of land also, they check whether the dried leaves and dried trees are there. Then only they clear that forest. So they pray, even the forest goddess, they had respect towards the forest. They never disturb the environment. as compared to the modern agriculture. We have been clearing much of the forest area, and due to which we are suffering with the excessive floods or the drought. These are the two conditions which occur because of the imbalance in the ecology. The forests they clear for agriculture are taken care of so they automatically regenerate after some years. If they leave that piece, again they regenerate because they take care of them. However, with limited forest land available with them, the way of life is under constant threat because sufficient food grains are not grown, sufficient pulses and vegetables are not available. So their life is always at a threat. Due to constant felling of trees and over exploitation of bamboo by the paper mills, these days which needed daily supply of the bamboo to the paper mills, this has almost depleted the forest area. And today there is a scarcity of the bamboo in the forest, I tell you. There is a scarcity because these paper mills require bamboo in a large quantity, and on a daily basis they require. If you keep on cutting the forest, okay, after few years you don't find any forest area at all, which will be a threat not only for the tribal people, even for the people living in the city. Isn't it? This season is a rainy season, but it is not looking like a rainy season. It's a very hot. So sufficient rainfall is not occurred because sufficient area under forest coverage is not found in the state. In fact, for a long time, the livelihood of bridal people have been repeatedly threatened, and the forest officials try to stop the podu cultivation also. These days, the Telangana government has given new vehicles also to the forest rangers and forest beat officers. So these people always stop the podu cultivation. But tribal people way of life is through the podu. And the tribal people possess very intimate knowledge about the plants and the trees present in the forest, and even the forest fruits and forest environment. Considering this knowledge, the needs of these people are very few, and the richness of the forest in which they live is also immense. Their needs are very little from the forest, and their knowledge is very immense. Okay, and the forest as a resource is also very immense. It would appear to be a great harmony with nature, and even if they feel sick, illness, they get a treatment from the herbs which are present in the forest. They have that knowledge, and should they not have the right to do so? According to the forest policy of 2006 prepared by the government of India, even the forest dwellers have the right over the forest. So these people, tribals are the forest dwellers, and they do have the right over the forest. And even forest officials also cannot stop them doing the podu. And school and other such facilities available in the villages are limited. There is just one school, and that is the Girijana Primary School. That is also a primary school. That is Girijana Tribal Primary School is located there. And the nearest high school as well as hospital are located only at the mandal, that is at Vajedu. In which mandal we are? Penugolu is located. The Penugolu is located at Vajedu mandal. So if they want any kind of hospital treatment or the high school, then they have to travel until Vajedu. And Vajedu is 30 kilometers away from the Penugolu. So the district headquarters is located some 20 kilometers away from the Penugolu. So they have to travel for 20 kilometers in order to reach to hospital or to the primary school. This is about the Penugolu. For the past few days we have been learning about Penugolu, children. Hope you understood. Okay, read the lesson, and I will give you the assignment under the assignment section. Thank you.